Okay, everybody. Here we go. I'm not going to do a huge intro. We're already gotten started. We got B here who's about to ask a question. Go ahead, B.
Okay, so I struggle with hitting my protein goal like
Hmm.
almost every day. Um, and I try to find, a high protein meat, but then it's every time I eat it and enter it or enter it and then eat it, I realize that it's not enough protein. So then I'll have a protein shake at the end of the day, and I am not at that point where I feel like just sitting and eating a can of tuna.
Hmm.
But I've also just every time I eat rice, I'll add like the liquid egg whites and just
Okay.
up my protein that way. But I'm finding that even though I eat like protein, like I'll have
Hmm.
a piece of steak or something, and that's what happened yesterday, and it turned into like a high fat day, so my fat was like quite high because the fat
Hmm.
and protein were quite equivalent in that meal.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that I struggle with, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to change that. Like, I, I don't know what to do, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
What is the problem though? The problem is that you're trying to hit your protein and not do too much fat. Is that the problem?
Well, I'm still hitting my fat. I don't think I care too much about fat. I'm just trying not to go over fat as much as I did like yesterday.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm just finding everything I eat has like fat, even though I think it's like lean. So even if I eat
Hmm.
like a white fish, like a mackerel, like the fat's still quite high in mackerel.
Okay, let's see.
Um,
Where did you have mackerel?
I had
Oh, there you go.
mackerel
You had it yesterday.
yesterday too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fatty as fuck. Whoo.
Yeah. And that was literally just scanning the barcode that it came in.
Wow. That's
But it was,
crazy.
yeah, but it was, yeah. So I scanned the package and that was what it
Oh, this is
was.
like a this isn't mackerel's not like a white fish. This is like a oily, greasy, like
Oh, it's not a,
sardine oyster thing,
what?
right? It came in a can, right?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like an actual like fillet.
Okay.
I can send you a photo of it, but it's literally a
Um,
frozen fillet.
okay. Yeah, I see frozen fillet, frozen vinegared mackerel. I guess mackerel has
A lot of fat.
mackerel macros. Let's take a look and see.
Okay.
Yeah, that is fatty. Hold on a second though. That's way too much fat compared to protein for what this says. Boneless grilled mackerel in 100% olive oil. That is weird. Okay. What do we have here? 80 calories, 13 protein, 3 fat. So you just scan the barcode?
Yeah, that was what I got. So,
Okay. Uh, everything is coming in a fucking can. Frozen mackerel,
yeah, no,
calories.
not the one that I got. I got from like a Japanese supermarket, and it's a fillet.
Okay. Let's take a look and see. I don't need that. I just need the picture. I love how I want to just look at the picture and then I get a pop up. It's like, do you want to do delivery or pickup? And you can't cancel this pop up screen. Holy cow. Okay, what is this? Zero fat. Can you send me a photo of your nutrition label?
Yeah, I can.
Because it's saying like nothing lines up with what you have.
Yeah, I can send that.
Okay. Yeah, if you could do that, can you do that right now? Is that too much of a pain in the ass? And we could like tackle this right now?
No, I can do it.
Okay,
Let me
cool.
just go into the kitchen.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
so there's that, and then I had like a ribeye,
Yeah,
and
ribeye is super fatty. Like that was basically your whole day of fat in that one steak.
Yeah, and I had no idea that it was like that.
Red meat, the only red meat you're gonna get that's like lean-ish is extra lean ground beef. Even then, there's still a decent amount of fat in it, but that would be the best one. And then in terms of like ground beef, and then a flank steak, eye of round, like the cheap, tough cuts. Those ones just don't have as much fat. They're gonna be a lot leaner. And then the best way to, prepare those would be to marinate them for a couple days. Some soy sauce, some vinaigrette, or something like I don't know, however you want to do it.
Yeah. Do you want a photo of the fish or just the
Just the nutrition
label?
label, yeah, nutrition facts.
Hold on.
Mirza Gasmi, Gassemi. What is that?
It's a Afghani vegetable dish. So it's made of eggplants, basically. Eggplants and like vegetables.
Does it come in like a bag or a can or something?
No, you make it.
Oh, so you made that from scratch?
Yeah, it's really easy to make. It's like I'll send you the recipe.
Okay. Oh my.
Did you get the photo?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Half pack, 50 grams, 12 grams of fat, 7 protein. That's terrible. Yeah, you should just not even use that stuff anymore. I wouldn't buy it again.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that would suck. And then you had, where was it? That was yesterday, right? 65 grams. Yeah, yeah. So you tracked it right. It's just that's tough. That's a tough one to get around. There's some foods it just doesn't make sense to eat when you're in a diet. Like peanut butter, it just doesn't make sense. Adding olive oil to your meals just doesn't make sense. Um, it's just
So
easier
then
that way.
what would I cook the steak with? Because I'm not allowed butter.
Right now, I mean, you only have a few days left in your sprint or your flush. I would just say just don't have steak for 3 days. Like, just make it
Okay.
easy. Yeah, yeah, olive oil and then the steak on top of it. That's like luxury food that would make it tough to stick to your deficit. The thing is though,
Mm-hmm.
is that we're gonna be slowly increasing your calories here in the next little bit, so that'll be really good. And
Mm-hmm.
so then you'll have more room to, and you can have the butter at that point, and yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, what else did you just send me here?
I sent you the recipe for the Mirza Gasami.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm sorry, it's Iranian. I thought it was Afghani, but
That's okay.
so
All cultures are welcome.
I like my food with a lot of flavor.
Ingredients: eggplant, olive oil, shallots, garlic, and just, yeah, it's not a whole lot. Really simple. 4 eggs, Italian, this and that. All right. All right. Cool. So it's basically eggplant. It's just like a soupy type mashed potato thing. I
Um,
don't know.
the
I don't know
texture
if
is more like a how would I
jambalaya.
no, no. It's something it's definitely something you can spread on
I was
like
just gonna
bread.
say, yeah, dip. Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
okay.
it's yeah, but it's a little bit chunkier than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's really good.
Cool. Yeah, I
I
think that
guess
looks great.
I really like shakshuka too.
Can you see? So this is where I go with stuff like this. I look at this and I go, do I need 6 tablespoons of olive oil? Like, is that really necessary for this to be a complete thing? Or could I get away with like two?
Yeah, I don't usually use all the oil that it's called for.
Hmm.
But I have been finding that I've been salting my food a lot more
Hmm.
since going on this flush. And I don't know if that's like normal, but
Yeah, just by default you are. You just notice that you're salting your foods more.
yeah, like I do.
Cool.
I find things like not as salty. And so
Yeah.
I'll like put more salt. And I'm like, doesn't that kind of like counter to an inflammation flush, but then it's like my food is so bland, so I feel like I just need the salt.
No, salt's not like gonna inflame you. I mean, it's a necessary electrolyte for
Mm,
good heart function. So, yeah, when you're eating virtually all whole foods, there's not
yeah.
really much sodium in that. So you do need, and then on top of that, you're exercising more, so you're going to be sweating more inherently. And then on top of that, you're also drinking a lot more water, or you should be. So all those things combined, better quality food, more water intake, and sweating more means that you likely will get yourself in a place where you need to add some salt. So that's great. That's good that you just like
Okay.
intuitively were like, well, I mean, for you, you weren't necessarily thinking, I need to get my electrolytes up. You're like, my food tastes like shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want this more salty.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
I'm
need
the
some
same way.
flavoring in this. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I salt my ice cream. I put salt on everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they make salted caramel.
Yeah, exactly, right? And
Yeah.
if you look at every ice cream that they all have some sodium added to
Hmm.
them. So, yeah, yesterday's food, I mean, here's the cool thing. You hit your protein. This is really all that matters. You basically hit your protein. You're shy by 11 grams. It's not a big deal. And you were within your calories. I mean, like, can't really complain about that. That's really cool. And then to think that, sure, you're not having your cookie and your cake and all your fun stuff that you're gonna eat in a few days from now, but you had some white rice, you had a big juicy ribeye steak, and you lost 3 pounds in a week, Like
Hmm.
it's a really cool start. The thing that's going to be really depressing that you'll find when you start reincorporating those foods that you like is just how dense they are in calories. So you can
Hmm.
include them in your diet, but you have to stick within the calories that I've given you. And the more of those things that you eat, the hungrier you're going to feel, and that'll cause more irritability, mood swings, and making you want to overeat. So just be mindful of that stuff. But by all means, it doesn't mean you can't have it.
You mean I'm going to have more cravings than I do now?
Not necessarily more cravings, maybe, maybe not, but you're definitely going to be hungrier the more of that stuff that you include in your diet.
Okay. Because I did feel like last week, I guess last week was like my first week, and I had mentioned to you that I would eat and then I would crave something like
Hmm.
almost like an hour after. I'd be like, oh, I feel like I need to eat again, but it wasn't like I was hungry. I just had a craving.
Yeah,
So that was
exactly.
really annoying because then I'd kind of sit there and be like, well, can I eat something? But then it's like I don't actually want to eat anything.
Dude, that is a massive realization. That's very, very cool because you're not hungry for anything. Your body doesn't need more calories. It was completely content with that boring ass meal that just had tons of vitamins in it.
Hmm.
But you just wanted something tasty because you've conditioned your body that when I want something, I get my thing and that's that. But
Yeah.
now it's like there's this resistance and you're putting this artificial barrier. Like no one's actually preventing you from buying a cookie. You just have to not do it, you
Well, the
know?
cookies are here on the table.
Yeah, that's right. You got those YVR cookies that were sent to you. So,
Yeah, and they're just sitting there. Well,
yeah, so
my
you just have
my
to be like, no.
yeah, my kids have dug into them.
Good. Yeah, they should run away and eat them all.
I know.
Now your food's looking really good, dude. I'm actually really impressed with what you're doing with it right now. So, I'm back to Saturday here and I'm seeing mushrooms in an ounce. I'm seeing chicken in ounces, eggplants in ounces. But I don't think you've done that this week yet, right?
No.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, you're on the grams situation now. You don't have to track your Coke Zero. It's a freaking zero. There's 0 calories in it, yo.
I feel like Coke Zero is actually really bad for me.
Why is that?
Um, I don't know. I feel like somehow that just, I don't know. I just
Hmm.
feel like that makes me stay fat or something.
Hmm. Well, you're making a really terrible case against the data that exists.
Yeah, I don't know.
It
I've
doesn't.
because when I did keto,
Mm-hmm.
I was good without like the Coke Zero. I would
Mm-hmm.
lose a couple pounds, but as soon as I started drinking it again, I would just stay like stagnant with my weight.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds more like a correlation rather than causation. Like you coincidentally started having Coke Zero, and at the same time, you either like went off keto, stopped exercising as much, started eating more food, incorporating something different in your diet, sleeping less, got more stressed. So many different things can play into it. But adding in a 0 calorie item into your diet will not affect your weight loss.
Mm, okay.
The only like the new the only here I'll give you this. I'll give this to you. You may be one of very, very few people who have some type of sensitivity or allergy to something in it. And that is real for some people, which maybe causes some bloating and water retention. This is me just like, I could see how
Throwing
there,
something out there.
yeah, I could see how that could be true. I haven't read anything
Okay.
like that before, but I wouldn't, that sounds pretty logical to me that that's a possibility. Is it likely? I wouldn't bet on it. I
Hmm.
suspect that there's some other things that probably happen at the same time that you just weren't, you were like, oh, I started having Diet Coke. Like that's what you saw in your head, but there's other things that were going on, you know?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense too.
If you really want to test it, control for that one variable. Like make sure that everything else lifestyle wise is completely unchanged, but then you just start doubling up your Coke Zeros and see if you can't lose weight or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think you'll be fine. And if it helps you with like getting hydrated, because it's 99% water and giving the bubbles and the fizz in your stomach to settle a little bit and get rid of their cravings, like I think that they're great. Any type of diet soda drink is massive for me not eating like a glutton. And Angela knows better than anybody. I can eat like an absolute pig, like a sick pig. So,
But those are fun.
yeah, I love those days. Those are
Yeah.
great. Most
Yeah.
people eat a ton of sugar and disgusting food and then they feel sick afterwards. I feel awesome after.
Yeah. I just want to sleep after. So,
Yeah. I ate about 50% of my birthday cake by myself in the same day. Like, I think I ate half the cake. I probably ate more than half the cake on the day that I got my cake.
well, cake has like a different compartment in your body.
Yeah, right. It doesn't actually like get stored. You don't process the calories or anything like that.
And yeah, and if you share it, it's like empty calories. So,
Exactly. Especially if you go for a walk right afterwards, it totally cancels out the calories.
exactly. So, cake is, it's good.
It's
Everybody should be
it's
eating
really
cake
good for
every
you.
day.
It gives
Yeah.
you more energy to go do active things. So it's actually healthy to have cake. We
Everybody
sh
should be eating a piece of cake before the gym.
That'll be the challenge for me. It'll be a cake challenge. You got to eat cake every day.
Yes, I'm down. I'll
You're
win.
probably gonna win. Yeah.
I will win.
B, is there anything else that I can help you with? Any questions or anything?
No, that's mainly it. I think it's just every time I log my meals, it just feels like I kind of fall short on the protein. So I try to supplement that with like a protein drink at like 10 at night so I don't feel as bad.
On the 30th, the last day you didn't hit your protein was on the 29th. You
Okay.
had two protein shakes. You had salsa with rice cakes. Here's your lunch. Your lunch was 9 grams of protein. Every meal has that. That's why, and you were off by 25 grams. If you just had another 25 grams at lunch, you would have been good. You had a 30-gram breakfast. You had like a 30 or 40-gram dinner. You just needed to get more protein in at lunch. And then I'm looking at your Thursday, April 30th, breakfast. You had an egg, oats, and some pork, 41 grams of protein. Lunch, you had sashimi and yuzu, which is nothing. You don't even have to track whatever that yuzu is.
Okay.
um, yeah, so you had a little bit of sashimi, not a whole ton, but it was enough where you got 27 grams of protein. And then for dinner, you had, or snacks, sorry, you had a couple scoops of protein powder and organic coconut smiles. You ended up, again, 103 grams of protein for the day. That was good. 101 grams on the Friday, 102 grams on Saturday. Your goal, again, is 100 grams a day. So 107 on May 3rd. Yes, 2 days ago. So you've been hitting your protein just fine. You just have to identify the proteins that are a little bit leaner and including more of those in your diet. And it's not
Yeah.
always the most fun, but when you have lean protein sources in your diet, it opens up so many calories for you because that ribeye is so damn delicious. It probably went down pretty easy, didn't it?
Yeah. I don't, it's funny because I don't actually even like ribeye because I don't think that's like the best cut of steak. So I don't even normally eat it. Um, but I like the fat, juicy, like ribeye cut, a
Hmm.
ribeye cap. And obviously, I knew that that was going to be too fat. So my husband got something else. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So anytime you have your fatty meats are going to just totally crush all the calories that you could have otherwise had. Because you have in this one steak, it was only 170-gram steak, which is not a ton of food, especially for a steak. Most people can have like 200, 300 grams of steak easy. So with that, you had 493 calories. You had 39 grams of fat in that one meal. Of the 493, sorry, I think I said 39. Of the 493 calories, let's see here. 39 grams times 9 calories per gram of fat. 351 out of the 493 calories was pure fat. If you were able to, I mean, eliminate that entirely is not unrealistic with a steak, but if you had like a flank steak instead that had 6 grams of fat, or maybe
Hmm.
at most 10 grams of fat, let's say that would be if that was 10 grams of fat, that means that we could remove 29 grams of fat times 9. Means that all of a sudden you just bought yourself 260 calories that you could add to that day yesterday. 260 calories is like that's a pretty reasonable sized bowl of frozen yogurt. That is 10 grams of butter on your steak, so that shitty cut of steak can now have a little bit more flavor on it. And if it was 10 grams of butter, that's only 90 calories. You still have about 150 calories left over, actually 170 calories left over. That could be a piece of fruit. That could be some more veggies in your plate. You could add so much volume. That's another slice of bread with your breakfast in the morning. That's a lot of calories that you can just kind of plug in other areas when you lean out your proteins. So, next step for you, go into the resource section of Everfit, and then you'll find the nutrition folder. And from there,
Hmm.
you'll find grocery list. So,
Okay.
in that grocery list, I've categorized proteins, carbs, and fats. And in the protein section, you're going to find a ton of different lean protein options. If you have most of your protein coming from that and less of it from like the fattier steaks and stuff like that, and your fatty pork, you're gonna have way more calories to play with every day, and all of a sudden you feel full without having to eat more food.
Okay. I will do that.
Gangster, dude. I'm gonna get going here. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks so
Have
much.
a wonderful day.
Okay, take care,
Okay.
B.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.